two don't have another stop to make either, do they?
I don't think they do. No, I think Jamie's this is their final stop.
So this is genuinely fight for position on track.
Fight for potentially first place.
Oh, is that our boy?
It is.
It is, and he's gonna have a glitch. So, or is he?
No, he isn't. No, he isn't.
So our boy,
where he is. So our boy had enough of a gap, and now he's just going to drive into the distance on option tyres.
So it looks like he's, barring any disasters, he should win this race. Jamie's taken second now from our Turner, so once again it's a Toro Rosso 1-2.
Yep. So unless either of them make a mistake, maybe contact each other, any disconnections perhaps, it looks like it's just going to be another 1-2 for them. Which, considering the start of both of them, that is quite impressive.
I think our Turner though might get the final podium position, because Speed Queen's 28 seconds behind.
Yeah, that is some gap. Even on the option tyres, I can't see her catching up that quickly.
We've just had a comment in the chat as well saying Speed Queen should have fitted primes for the first pit stop and then two option stints to the end of a race, and she'd have got a podium.
Yeah, well obviously you can never predict these things, but...
Yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, that probably would have been the strategy I'd do. I don't know, maybe she didn't expect to be quite this slow on the prime tyres.
Yeah, the prime tyre pace has really ruined it for her, and I imagine she probably hasn't done any practice on the prime tyre, so she might not have been ready for the deficit in pace.
Yep, as we expected, our boy is literally driving off into the night.
Yeah, there's nothing Jamie can do. As good as Jamie is, the tyres difference is too much.
Yep, Martin is dropping back from Jamie as well. And Speed Queen is just about to start lap 23.
Yeah, and she's not really making massive inroads. Oh, there's a gap there for P5 here, Jamie Bear and single cab. Just touching there. A score to them. That was a great time to join. Single cab, Jamie Bear's made the move. He's on option tyres though, so will those go off before the end of the race? We don't know yet.
I had somewhere single cab pit and trying to both pit at the same lap, so
yeah.
That's where we're going to see where the options versus the prime tyres.
So we're going to find out now who's made the right call. At the moment it's Jamie Bear, but at the end of a race that could change.
Yep. You have to think, if Jamie Bear can build enough of a gap in the time that his option versus green, then he will take fifth place this race.
Yeah, he's got to build the gap now while his tyres are still fresh-ish. Iola isn't really close to them. I think he's might have to settle for 7th there.
The final 3 positions are driving very lonely bases right now.
Yeah, but collecting the points, and that's what you've got to do in those situations.
And that might be the most fun race for you, but it's going to be picking up points, and that's all that matters in the championship.
Those points can make all the difference at the end of a season.
Yep.
You know. I'm looking at the gaps here.
When other people don't finish, don't turn up, then you can really pick up positions against people that might actually be quicker than you.
Just had a comment here. I don't know how familiar you are with Formula 1 YouTubers. Someone put they should probably watch Arava and Tia McMarda. They've probably destroyed them all. I'm not so sure about that. I do watch them too. They are very good drivers and who also run no assist. But
yeah,
I think the likes of Jeremy, Speed Queen and our boy certainly would give them a very good race. And probably beat them.
We should point out that these are performance cars, by the way. They're not.
Yeah. Good thing. This is a performance race, so the car people in the Toro Rossos are genuinely running in the spec of a Toro Rosso. Yeah, it's not equal performance. You'd be seeing 132s, potentially 131s in Mercedes from the front runners.
I'd probably maybe even 130s from some of the quicker ones.
Yeah, 130s, yeah.
Certainly in qualifying.
I mean, Jim, we were in awe at Jamie's lap from earlier when he was right at the start of the race and did a 134 because it was a Toro Rosso.
Yeah. So also lap 4, car full of fuel, and he does that.
And he's done really well to salvage second from what was a very difficult position.
But he was down in last place, wasn't
He was definitely down near the back. He was around 9th, 10th when he pitted for a front wing, and he was way off the lead.
The single cabs just runs into the gravel trap and lost him a fair bit of time against Jammy Bear.
You don't want to do that. I think that's the trouble when you're the tortoise and the hare race. You sometimes try too hard to make up ground that isn't there to be made yet.
Everybody's very spaced out at the moment.
Yeah, I think barring any major things, it could be like this till the end, but you never know. Dramatic things have happened.
If somebody could spin into a gravel trap, they could spin into a wall and break the front wings. I remember racing last year, I was in 4th place, just thinking, well, something could happen, and then 2 people get disqualified ahead of us, and I get 2nd place, so literally anything can happen.
Yeah, once again in the chat, I don't know what kind of setups they're running, but they keep locking up. That'll be due to the lack of assists. Very difficult to prevent locking up. Some manage it better than others.
Highway, the fact that the cars aren't like the best cars.
Yeah.
A little bit down to inexperience. Not all of them are very experienced drivers. Both enthusiasm. Lots of really smart people like that.
But all in all, some very good driving. Our boy has driven a brilliant race.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, he's probably not going flat out, our boy, now, but Jamie isn't been massively dropped on the primes.
No, I've noticed that. I mean, I can't imagine our boys oftentimes are going to go off before the end of the race. He's a bit quite late on them, so... Whether he is just like backing off a little bit, making sure he doesn't crash. But whether this is Jamie's legitimate pace against him, I don't know. But
I mean, Speed Queen is closing in on our Turner, but it's 20 seconds to gain in 3 laps. It's not going to happen.
Unless our Turner decides to stop on the side of the track, have a cup of tea, do a couple of donuts, then...
Yeah. And yeah, I think it's been a very good race. I think a lot of the action happened either early on or about 5 laps ago. But
the action happened in batches this race.
Yeah.
So generally at the end of stints and as people came off the pits. The racing that we have seen has been very, very clean, very good to watch.
And while you're on the subject before of about anything can happen in the latter stages, you probably won't like me reminding you of this, but even last week in F5, me stealing that position from you on the last lap and I was nowhere near you.
Oh yeah, because I touched McLean's span. Yes.
Yeah. So.
You wouldn't bring that up.
Well, I don't mind personally from my point of view, but.
But yeah, that does show that anything can happen, even in the last lap. Whether it's to your benefit or your detriment.
We're on the penultimate lap now, halfway through that.
And nobody's anywhere near each other. Jamie Bear's tyres haven't really gone off.
Single cab's made a few too many errors really to stay close.
Yeah, I mean he lost 2-3 seconds going in the gravel trap that one time. But Jamie Bear looks up quite heavily in turn 4.
If it weren't for that mistake, he'd only be a couple of seconds behind him as well, and you don't know now if he's backed off as well. So
yeah,
that mistake really did cost him. He could have really made a charge for it on his last couple of laps. But credit to Jamie Bear, a bit surprising actually, but he's only 5th. I mean, he might not like me saying this, but I know in Project Cars he's very, very quick, so it doesn't always transfer, I know, but maybe.
They're very different games, to be fair to them.
Yeah, I think he's brand new to the F1 leagues as well, so I think the more races he gets under his belt, he'll improve on pace and that. And he could be battling with a top 3. He's not a million miles away. We just go to the leader now for the final lap.
There is actually a small battle for 7th place, Iolo and Jock in 3rd.
Oh. Ah yes, so there is.
And that came out of nowhere. I didn't actually see anybody battling for a long time, just glancing through them, and then suddenly, I don't know whether one's made a mistake.
Iola, I think, had a very long stint on these tyres. Not sure about Jock, but I think Iola might have had a incredibly long stint. But I'm just going to go away from that for a second, because our boy is coming into the final sector to complete a brilliant drive to take his 2nd win from 2 races so far this season, and get another one up on his teammate, I guess.
Yep, I'm assuming that Jamie finished in 2nd place.
Here comes our boy round the final corner now. It's not been the most entertaining races, but it's been very intriguing, and our boy takes victory in Bahrain to take his 2nd win of the season. Jamie does hold on to 2nd place. A great comeback drive after losing his front wing early on. And our Turner, you know, not much said about him, but a solid, very solid drive, and he's just brought it home very well to take 3rd place, and judging by the weaves, he's pretty happy with that.
Well, the 2-stop strategy as well, I believe.
That's right. Yep, he did a very long stint on options, which went kind of under the radar almost at times. Speed Queen takes 4th, quite a lonely race for her in the end. Kind of expected a little more, if I'm honest, but it's solid points nonetheless.
Jock going to be inside of Iola and he's taking 7th place.
Oh, let's just skip to that quickly. It's very close. Jeremy Bear takes P5, and single cab, I'm assuming, is going to take 6th place. I think that's him just ahead of Jock there.
This could go down at the final corner.
Could Iola make a last corner move, or is Jock going to take P7? I think Jock's got it.
Unless he runs out of fuel on the pit straight.
Oh, it's getting closer, but not close enough. That's a shame for Iola. I think his tyres must have gone up at the end, but there's a podium, quite Red Bull dominated, I guess.
Yep.
And another 1-2 for Toro Rosso.
Very good for them. They're going to be leading the Constructors' Championship by quite some distance now.
Yeah.
Leading the Constructors' Championship in this league.
I know we all go in the same team if we're in the same car, so I'm assuming they have the Constructors. But yeah, well done to both Toro Rossos there. Brilliant drive. And
our boy takes his 2nd victory of the season.
To move, I think that's now 8 points in front of his teammate already, as we use a slightly different way of point scoring in PSGL.
Yep, 16 points for a victory.
Yeah, and 12 for 2nd place. That's quite incredible. That lap Jamie did at the beginning was his fastest lap.
Yeah, that was quite a lap. I mean, he was beaten by his teammate later on in the race, but still,
yeah,
lap 4 to be his fastest lap.
That's incredible. Yeah, thank you for everyone joining. We had 7 or 8 for the most part of the race, which is very good indeed for the first F1 race. Hopefully you all join us again next week for China, I think it is.
It is indeed.
Thank you all for the more questions we got right at the end. I don't think we have time to go through them now, but keep them coming next week and we'll try and answer them if there's a dull part of the race, which we're hoping there isn't, but you know, there's always a way to fill it, I guess. Once again, a well done to the top 3, and thanks Hulk for joining me this evening, although we had a few problems at the start.
Yep, it's a shame I disconnected at the start, but I managed to join back for a lot of the battling. Very fun to watch this race. I'll be back next week.
Yep, as will I. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.